One time I found out one of our manufacturers was charging me way more than someone else that was using some of their raw materials. And so I made up a person that wasn't me, obviously. And that person had an address. And then I found out how much I was being over, I was getting way worse prices. Then they found out it was me, but by accident, they sent all the raw materials to the fake person's address. And we had pallets of product in the middle of Colorado. But I was like, we're not.
That's not where you are.
That's not where I am. Our warehouse is in Los Angeles.
Hello and welcome back to the Product Boss Podcast. I am Jacqueline Snyder. I am your host of the show, and I'm so excited to have a very special guest here today. I have Alannah Connealy. She is the founder of Raena Health and one of the co-hosts of Celluverse Podcast. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my
Excited
goodness.
to be here.
So excited that you're here. So we are friends outside of this world, but what you're creating and bringing to the space of healthcare and in the form of a product is so very exciting. So would you mind telling the listeners a little bit more about it?
Thank you. We help women with their hormones. And so what that looks like is really amazing solutions for hormone imbalances. So like PCOS, perimenopause, menopause, PMS, all things that women go through. They're looking for answers, and we make the highest quality products for those imbalances.
Amazing. So you've created a healthcare company where you're creating supplements.
We do, we specialize in transdermal creams, but they're topical supplements. And then we do prescription grade capsules, and then we do supplements as well.
So are you did you grow up in this space? Do you know all about products? How did you end up in this?
Well, my mom's a medical doctor, so I grew up in the health world, and then learned so much from her. She's a pretty amazing doctor in Orange County.
Mm-hmm. Tell us your mom's name.
Dr. Connealy. I love her. She's my mom. And she runs a massive clinic. So she was actually compounding hormones my entire life. When I was little, I would literally help her make prescription hormones, getting the materials together, because that's what she did for her patients, which is very pioneering to make hormones for your patients. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, but we do mostly over-the-counter transdermal creams. And I always wanted to create a world, I don't think of it as products. I think it's stepping into the Raena world. What does a Raena woman look like and feel like, and what kind of bottles does she want to use and feel proud of in her bathroom shelf?
Okay, I love that. So really important here, because we could just make medicine or we could just make supplements or products, but you thought about who the Raena customer is and what the packaging would look like. So could we dig into that a little bit more? Because I think a lot of times when people are coming up with product, they're not fully thinking of the brand, right? People will buy based on the bottle and based on the packaging. So who is the customer for Raena?
For us, it's a very knowledgeable woman, very she inspires me. She's very got her life together, but is very skeptical and takes her health seriously and is very engaged in that process.
Okay.
So it's not someone that just wants to listen to their OBGYN, because that wouldn't be our customer, right? Because we're kind of a foil to the OBGYN. You DIY your hormones with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's an amazing woman, usually around 40 years old.
Did you name her?
Well, Raena in Spanish means queen.
Yeah.
So we have we took that name as a variation of the word Raena. And so it represents her. And especially, our sweet spot's 40 years old. It's really a transition period where the woman becomes a queen in her life. She's no longer a princess. She's usually had kids. She's gone through a career or whatever she's done in her life. So to us, it's really a crowning transitional period that we focus on.
So good. So then, because the people are, our listeners, they're physical product-based business owners. So they're really thinking the same way, where they're thinking, I've got this product and maybe there's a problem out there that we get to solve, or they're meeting a need, want, or desire in the market, right? Because if we're going to come out with a product, we really want to meet that need.
Yeah.
So you saw the need based off of growing up with an amazing mom who's a physician and seeing that, but then finding the ideal customer avatar. What kind of research did you do to really start to feel into her? So when you make the decisions for content, packaging, the website, that you feel really aligned with her?
I don't know. I mean, I make it for myself.
Okay.
I would never make a product or sell a product that I wouldn't use. And I just felt like everything out there felt very just boring. So when thinking about like packaging and design, I'm like really always mixing art and design with health. That is my sweet spot. Like that's what feels like a flow state is when I'm mixing medicine with art. And so the packaging is, I think it's beautiful. We have custom molds from, that custom mold bottles take a year to make. So it's very intentional, but you only have one life. I don't want to put out a half-assed product. So yeah, just taking the product seriously. And I don't know. I just love like packaging and logos. I've always loved colors and I just love pictures and I don't know, just the art of it all of packaging and product. I've always been interested in it.
Amazing. Yeah. So when you started, did you have an audience to sell to? Did you have customers to sell to? Like what was that very, very beginning when you were like, okay, I need to get my product in front of people? What did you do?
I just started making content right away. Yeah, I like if we didn't have customers, I would just make videos until we had a customer. If I saw an order come through, like I wouldn't go to bed until I was like, we're gonna find people to buy this product because it's amazing. So I just started making content myself
on social.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram. Putting stuff out there and then until we got big enough, I hired people to make content. Also, I think it's like at a certain level, you don't want to always have the founder be the face of it. It just can feel a little small.
Yeah.
I think if you're always the face of it, felt a little not serious in a way. So I kind of stepped back after a few years of doing a lot of the content. I step in once in a while because I like to just get in that like talking to the customer mode. What's clicking with people, what's not, what's a little edgy, what's a little not. So pulling in and out has kind of been what I do now.
What kind of content do you think is really helpful, right, to the ideal customer? So what kind of content are you creating that's really pulling in the person who's never seen or heard about your business before?
The only type of content that really converts is before and afters.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like showing before and who you can be. So we make all types of content because I think it's not always about a conversion. It's about the brand and the world. And it's just like kind of infomercially at some point when you're always doing before and afters. But in terms of actually getting a sale, the easiest way to do is do a before
and after.
Yeah, and just explaining like this is who you are now and this is what you're going to feel after you use the product.
What kind of content goes viral for you?
A lot of before and afters, visually showing like a woman, just even basically like she's in menopause, she's hot flash, and then afterwards like this is how you use the cream and this is what you'll feel after kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of science. Like I've always felt like we just need to tell more facts. I feel like on women's health, like it feels very cloudy and you don't know where to turn and where to look. And I just thought, let's just stick with the facts that we know. And I think when people hear the truth, it resonates in their heart and their soul that they know it's true. And I've always wanted to stick to more science and facts.
Yeah. So listen to her podcast because you're like, let's talk science and facts. Yeah. Did you create the podcast to drive customers to Raena?
No.
Yeah.
I don't really do, like, I feel like I always just do what I like desire feels right, but never like, I don't know, I probably need to get more like business oriented, but the podcast is for my next business really that I'm working on, but it's still in the women's health world. And it's, I just have a lot I want to make, of like one life. So I'm like, someone was like, you're not focused. I'm like, you're not doing enough. Like I seem extra because you're not doing that much,
Yeah.
So it's for my next business.
Great. You have like so many ideas and action takers. So what would you say is sort of like one of the craziest things that happened having a product business that was just sort of something that you're like, oh gosh, this happened and we get to get through it?
Oh my gosh. I mean, millions of stories. One time I found out one of our manufacturers was charging me way more than someone else that was using some of their raw materials. And so I like made up a person that wasn't me, obviously. And that person had an address. And then I found out how much I was being over, like I was getting way worse prices. Then they found out it was me, but by accident, they sent all the raw materials to the fake person's address. And we had like pallets of product in the middle of Colorado that I was like,
that's not where you are.
That's not where I am. Our warehouse is in Los Angeles.
Okay. So it's sort of like trying to mess with or figuring out the negotiation of
I think they did it by accident.
Okay.
I don't think it was malicious, but it was just really funny that that's
like,
where it had to end up.
Yeah. You're like, in Colorado, what do I do with this stuff?
Yeah, it was really funny. But I mean, there's millions of hardships. There's just challenges every day. You're just trying to, knock out problems every day like a ninja.
Yeah, like a ninja. So what advice would you give someone just starting out in the product space?
I think just really getting connected to what you're about to sell and why you love it more than anyone. Like, I truly believe you can sell any product if you want to. Like, if you love it, you can sell anything, it's just feeling like very close to that product in a very intimate, like soul level. Because business is hard, life is hard. And so you're not going to stick with it if you don't feel like this true connection with whatever that object is.
Yeah. I call it finding your why.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's your why? Because when things get really hard, when things are sent to Colorado and you're like, I just want to give up, you got to go back to your why. So the why could be about the customer, the why could be for you, the why, but it has to be deep enough that you could ride the waves of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What's your why?
What's my why? I really just want to give like women better answers. I don't know. I feel like we're sold short all the time and don't know where to turn, and everyone's got a different opinion. So I feel like we have the ability to literally change women's lives and their health. And that's the greatest gift, because what is that? More time with your family, more time with your parents, more time with your kids and stuff. So there's really nothing more important than our biology, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. So, and then for you, what's your vision moving forward, just for you, Alannah? Being an entrepreneur, moving through this space, because what I really believe is that entrepreneurship can be the vehicle to our vision, right? To freedom, to finding our purpose in this world, and then the freedom that we get to have on the other end. So what do you see for yourself moving into the future?
Well, I think, I've been like a product person, but we're moving in more a tech direction, like building more software, which is outside like what I've been used to, because we do like creams, So that's where just getting stretchier in that way of building software to help women. But it's just, that's what I'm looking forward to. I think I love creating, and I like following the desire I feel. I love every desire leads to the next desire. And I get so excited every day. Like, what next am I going to want to make? Oh my gosh, the world's waiting for this. So
good. One thing I do teach people is I talk about their bestseller, what they're known for. So when you were starting your business, did you start with one product, multiple products, or like what did you want to be known for that still continues to be your bestseller today?
Yeah, I wish I just started with one product, because it's simpler, it's easier, but it wasn't an extension of me. Like, I feel I'm very multifaceted, and I couldn't do that. Like, it's so much easier if you're that person that can just sell a creatine gummy. Like, life is easier, and you can get like a 70 million run rate, and that's just with one SKU, like Armor Colostrum. What are they on track to do? Like 200 million with two SKUs.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's not my song to sing. So we didn't start with one product. I think we had started with maybe 10 or something. But our bestseller is progesterone. It's the most underutilized drug in the world. It has no toxic downsides. It can help breast cancer, MS. Men can take it. So for that reason, it's our bestseller. We're a progesterone company, but we also do other hormones, because to me, it's like, well, progesterone's not the only hormone. You got to look at DHEA, thyroid, pregnenolone. So I guess in good faith with myself, I don't just sell one product, but I think you should be focused on what you really want to like hunker down on.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing everything, it's really hard to be stuck in a customer's mind.
Yeah. Well, what you're doing is I talk about, so it's either hero product or core collection. So your products are sort of that idea of core collection, or I'll talk about this in skin regimens, right? So if somebody's selling skin cream, it's like they want the toner and the cleanser and the hyaluronic acid and whatever it is. So it sounds to me like you created a core collection, meaning for the problems that you have, you can mix and match these products and put them together, knowing though that your bestseller is a progesterone. So that's kind of like, call it like the Beyonce or the, the lead singer. So it's the one that stands out. It's the one that can really drive the business forward, but then it gets to be supported by the other products.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're not going to do a lot of other products. You know, we're just going to double down on.
Are people saying to you like, do guys, like sell to guys? Are they pushing into men?
Yeah. I'd love to do testosterone. It's a great business, but our branding speaks to women too. So I think
no, that's the answer I want. Because people are always gonna be like, you know what you should do? And I'm like, don't let them shit on you. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like you know who you want to serve, you know your customer right now. It doesn't mean down the road you can't expand to men and men's hormones, but right now you're doing something really, really well by being known for something.
Totally. I think that the easier route is owning a sector and then expanding from there once you've really dominated that section.
Yeah.
So we probably are one of the biggest over-the-counter hormone companies, in the US. And we're not gonna really go out into other sectors. We're not going to do a multivitamin. We're a hormone company.
Yeah.
So we just do hormones. We want to be known for the word hormones,
Yeah. And that's so important. So for our listeners out there, the idea here is that you think and you realize that when you're known for something, you can make millions and millions and millions of dollars and you can have an impact. And so it's not this need to have to serve everybody, even though everyone needs hormones. It's not the idea that you need to have a gazillion products or, like you said, do supplements or like edible vitamins.
Yeah.
It's the idea of you sticking to what you're known for because you could be highly successful.
Yeah. Our products are still pretty niche. So it's just about getting those less niche.
Yeah. Yeah. So advice to the physical product-based business owner out there, someone who's doing this, whether right now they're listening in their basement or their workshop or their studio or they're packing boxes and shipping to their customers, what's some advice you could give them?
Well, I think the logo and the word of the company, what you call it, is more important than people think. Sometimes people are like, I think I'm just going to go with this company name. And I'm like, that is not a good name. You have to have a word that you want to look at every day, say every day, look at on your emails every day. You got to have pretty words, pretty things surrounding yourself. So those little things. But I packed all of our orders for the first year of our company. It's brutal. So you got to have the things that you really like about your business, like the logo and the words. And
you were just looking at the bottles. You're like, oh, I got to love
they're
this
beautiful.
logo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The images, everything's got to be, I think those investments really pay off.
They do. And I think sometimes people get really complicated in the way that they spell things or they use other, French words, and it's hard for people to spell. So you really want to make it easy for people to remember the name. Do you know how Goop came to be?
No.
Okay, this is really cool because we were talking about Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop. Goop was Gwyneth Paltrow, GP, and she heard that the ooh sound, like Google, was a really popular sound for people. So she just basically took her initials and put the ooh in between, and that's how we got Goop.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, for product businesses, I just think it matters. Even running through an entire cycle, if you're going to be in retail, think about that from day one. These details, you just don't want to redo them, and you can update and stuff. But I know that's trivial advice, but I actually think just people, they kind of want to use maybe AI for their logo. I'm like, no, get
hire a graphic designer.
Yes, get someone that's their craft, because you'll just be taken seriously. It looks more reputable, trustable, and people want to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I always say look like $1 million or $10 million business, even if you don't have the funds. You want to present in a certain way, even if it's just you packing boxes behind the scenes and shipping everything. You're like, I'm the shipping department and I am the customer service. But you really want to appear like a multi-million-dollar brand so that people trust the product.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. How can people buy from you, follow you, listen to the show?
Our website's Raena.com. So that's pretty simple. Raena.com. And then I'm on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and all those things.
Amazing. We'll put it all in the show notes. All right. Thank you, my friend, for being here. And thank you for what you're doing in the world for women and our health.
Thanks for having me. Bye.